Am I audible, ma'am? Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our coordinators, respected Seema ma'am and Kannan sir. And good morning to our evaluators, respected evaluators Bhashrati ma'am and Indrani ma'am. My topic is fertility, altruism, schooling and child labor. Now, child labor is a serious issue in today's world, and although the worldwide incidence of child labor has declined, but with the growing emphasis in development economics on poverty reduction, especially among the worst affected sections of the population, which obviously includes children and that too the working children, the acute interest in child labor has developed. And human capital is a stimulant for development, we know, and that is why child labor, since it hampers the child from schooling, and that leads to human capital formation, child labor is considered as a major obstacle to economic progress. And we see that often child contributes to a substantial portion of family income, so those households which cannot meet even its subsistence consumption expenditure has to depend on child earnings. So these households specially would like to have more child, as it ensures more security to the household on financial front. However, some households would like to concentrate on quality of children being raised rather than the number of children, and this quality is reflected by the human capital formation of children, which in turn depends on the time devoted to schooling by the child and health of the child. So in our model, we would like to study the role of relative importance given to the quantity of children vis-a-vis the quality of children by the parent in determining the relationship between fertility and parental schooling, as well as the relationship between child wage and fertility and child rearing cost and fertility. So this is the utility function that we have considered, UT, which depends on consumption of the household, CT, and human capital formation of child, HT plus 1, and NT, which represents the fertility. And delta is the importance given to human capital formation of child, and 1 minus delta, the importance given to the number of children. And the weightage is given by gamma, which represents the socio-economic environment of the household, like income of the parent or gender of the child or the cultural background of the family, and ST minus 1, that is this that represents the parental level of schooling. So we consider an overlapping generations model where each individual lives for 2 periods. In the first period, he or she is a child, and in the next period, he or she becomes the adult. When the individual is a child, he or she spends part of his time in schooling, and the rest the child works in unskilled sector, and the adult decides how much time the child is going to devote to work and how much to school. So these are the solving the maximization problem. These are the values of NT and ST that we have got, and we have tried to find out the relationship between parental schooling and fertility, and from that we have arrived at this proposition that if cost of rearing per child exceeds child wage, there exists an inverse relationship between parental schooling and fertility rate, provided the parent is more concerned about the quality of children rather than quantity. However, there exists a positive relationship between parental schooling and fertility rate, even if cost of rearing per child exceeds the child wage, in case the parent is more concerned about the number of children rather than their quality. We have also found out the effects of cost of rearing per child, that is alpha, and child wage, that is phi, on fertility, and we have got the result that when parent values quantity of children more than their quality, fertility rises with increase in child wage, and fertility falls with increase in cost of child rearing. We have found a positive relationship exists between parental schooling and child schooling if the maximum possible earnings of the household exceeds the cost of child rearing. This is the dynamics of schooling that we have got. We get here one steady state equilibrium S star Below A star, schooling keeps on rising till it reaches A star, and above A star, schooling keeps on falling till it reaches A star. So there exists unique, stable, steady state equilibrium of schooling if maximum possible earnings of the household exceed the cost of exceeds the cost of child rearing. We have also found out the comparative static effects of schooling when gamma is 0. That means only parental schooling here determines the relative importance given on quantity and quality of children being raised. And in that case, from these results, we have come to these conclusions that with increase in cost of child rearing, steady state schooling falls, but with increase in adult wage and beta, the steady state schooling always increases. Moreover, higher is the cost of child rearing and lower is the adult wage, higher is the possibility of steady state schooling to fall with fall in child wage. We have also tried to find out the effects of child labor ban and education subsidy on steady state schooling, and we have found that if the cost of child rearing is high and adult wage is low, child labor ban has adverse effects on schooling and hence human capital formation of child. However, education subsidy always has positive impact on schooling and human capital formation of child. So in conclusion, we find that with increase in schooling of the parent, number of children decreases if cost of child rearing per child exceeds child wage, provided the parent gives more importance to quality of children rather than quantity. However, if parents are more concerned with the number of children rather than with their quality, number of children increases with increase in child wage and number of children decreases with increase in cost of child rearing. Child schooling increases with increase in parental schooling if maximum possible earnings of the household exceed the child rearing cost, and the socio-economic environment plays an important role in determining schooling of child, and even if parent doesn't undergo schooling, she wants her child to get educated. Thank you. Quality of children is, sir, we have determined it on the basis of human capital formation of child, which depends on schooling of child. So whether the household is paying more importance to number of children, that is higher number of children, or smaller number of children but making them educated. Child cost, actually alpha we have considered a constant cost of child rearing. Got it, in the sense that in alpha itself we have considered the cost that may arise to rear up the child, like the food, the clothing, the basic necessities which the parent is providing to the child, and also the schooling cost also we have included here only, in alpha only. Okay, okay. That means, sir, you are saying that schooling cost should be taken separately. That is your point. Okay, 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 okay. I'll look into this, sir. Thank you. Date Data set I haven't used. Actually, my PhD thesis is also a theoretical study. So in that itself I have tried to incorporate this for. Hmm. Actually, I have tried to give all intuitive explanations. There is no data set as such to support this. I have given the intuitive explanation only. Right, ma'am. Right, ma'am. Right. Actually, ma'am, my entire thesis is based on this OLG framework only, overlapping overlapping generations framework, where each individual lives for 2 periods. There may be 3 period OLG also, but we have considered 2 period OLG, where each individual lives for 2 periods. In the first period, he or she is a child, and I have yes, ma'am. I have seen the quality quantity trade of few papers I have seen, but the child labor aspect in that I have tried to actually insert, and the fertility aspect I have not studied in during my PhD days. So at the time of my postdoc, I tried to write this paper, incorporate fertility in it, and see how the results are varying. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay. No, ma'am. I have done my PhD from Jadavpur University, Kolkata. Dr. Bidisha Chakraborty. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.